Aquarius, hello, welcome in, welcome to the channel. My name is Sarah, and today we're going to do something a little bit differently. We're going to take a look at your overall energy, the person on your mind's overall energy, and the mutual energy between the two of you guys. Then at the end of the reading, I'm going to go through with the fourth deck, and we're going to go through each of the zodiac signs and see if there are additional messages for you there. So Aquarius, whoa, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. That's a nice cut right there. Might have some new love or new passions on the horizon at this time. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but things that feel emotionally fulfilling. But go ahead and think of that person on your mind. And let's see what Spirit wants to say about it. Please show me Aquarius's energy when it comes to the person on their mind. We have the Sun. And the Ace of Cups stayed. Well, this person makes you very happy. Two of Pentacles. You are balancing something. Maybe this is a new happiness. Or you're trying to like keep your emotions in balance. Whoa. We have the Eight of Pentacles. This is all about hard work and putting in the hard work. It's about self-mastery or working on your craft. And the King of Swords. There you are. Let's get one more. The Hermit. Okay. Aquarius, I feel like this person's making you come out of your cocoon a bit. Wow, and we have the King and Queen of Swords. So if this is a new relationship, I think this is great. I'm getting like really, it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day vibes. But I do think maybe part of that Two of Pentacles was like having to adjust to all of this happiness and togetherness because maybe you've been like alone for a really long time with the Hermit. I feel like you've been working on you for a while because we literally had Mastery, your Court card, and the Hermit. So I think you've been spending some time with yourself. And maybe it's one of those things where it's like you're like maybe embarrassing yourself a little bit because it has been so long. You know, like when people like forget how to flirt or like you haven't cohabitated with someone in a long time. So it's like you don't even realize some of the things you do that are like kind of weird. I think this person's going to like that about you though. And they're just going to like let their own freak flag fly because we have a true pair here, you know? So yeah. Cut to the Ace of Cups. Wow. Congratulations, Aquarius. This is awesome. This seems like a really significant thing. All right, we have Justice on the bottom. Could be dealing with a Libra, but it just speaks about balance and fairness. So let's go ahead and get the person on Aquarius's mind's energy, please. Let's get this person's energy, please. Oh, that's interesting. We have the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Cups, Two of Wands, I think this person's just on a self journey too. I think they've been really working on themselves for a long time too, but I don't think they've reached the level of like confidence or awareness that you have. Something's bothering them. Something's still bothering them, and they're trying to go in and figure out what that is. Wait, before we get more, can you clarify this Nine of Swords, Four of Wands? It might just be anxiety around, and here you are, the Star, like, holy shit, I met my person. That means I'm going to have to do this, and that. You know what I mean? Especially if they are like a fair and regal and just person, with the Justice being on the bottom of the deck. I think they might be like, oh fuck, I got to go inward and make some decisions because I'm going to have to make some changes for this to like truly stabilize in this kind of like marriage energy with the Four of Wands. Ten of Swords. What is it that they have to end? Maybe like they need to, maybe they were like a Tinderer for a really long time and they would have to like end certain impulses to just nurture connections for a physical meaning, like not wanting to invest, kind of like Hi, Marble. What's going on, baby girl? What do you want to say to Aquarius? I feel like they're just kind of needing to, it's like that moment, like no matter, it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, but when someone decides to commit to someone, it's like, okay, I have to maybe stop flirting with that person at work, make it clear to this other person I'm not available and I'm fully moved on from them, or like even just an energy thing, like, okay, when I go and get groceries, like I'm also gonna make a decision to get things for Aquarius so that they have like things that they need and are comfortable with. But like, it's not just like a natural shift for them. I feel like they have to like go in and make the decision to change. Like it's something they have to like be aware of and keep at the forefront of their mind. And it might be overwhelming them a little bit because of these changes. Let's get more information about this Two of Wands, please. King of Swords. I mean, it's really like I feel like they strongly choose you. Oh my God. And the Lovers. And I didn't even see that before I said choose you. And the Lovers card used to be called the Choice. So I really think that they're just overwhelmed with their maybe loyalty to you, or how much they're considering, or how much you're changing their brain chemistry. I don't know. It's something like that. I feel like this person just is very clear about how they feel about you, but for some reason there feels like maybe some unfinished business they have to tend to, whether within themselves or with another person. King of Wands, Emperor, the Devil. I think it's just confidence issues, maybe. It might just be confidence issues. This person might just like suffer from anxiety and it makes them want to withdraw, or like whenever you withdraw to like go be an Aquarius, which, you know, it happens, right? You guys need your alone time for sure. That is not debatable. That it like triggers them a little bit into thinking that maybe you don't want this with them. Because it seems like on one side, it's like marriage to Aquarius meant to be. And on the other side, it's like anxiousness and heartbreak and needing to go inward because of an ending. So I don't know if you guys have been on and off, if this has been an on and off connection and they're like expecting Aquarius to like jet again or something like that, or if it's just a fear they have because people have jetted on them in the past. But to that, I want to say, like, please share how you feel with this person. If it hasn't been made abundantly clear, I feel like they have really good intentions. They just are at like having a mental battle about what your intentions are. So please be clear with them, because it seems like you see them as like an awesome option. Like you think they're very sparkly. You're about it. You're like coming out of your funk for them. You think it's a true pair too, you know, with the King of Swords. This also could be like a same-sex connection for some of you, and one person could just be anxious because it's the first time they've experienced something like that. And I don't want the other party to feel like it has anything negatively to do with them. It has everything to do with just the overwhelming shift in feelings that this person is experiencing. Marla May, can I help you, darling? All right, let's get the mutual energy between Aquarius and the person on their mind. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords, cruelty, but it was in reverse, and I want to take it that way because the way it landed here, I do think this person is trying to get their anxiety in order, but the way the Nine of Swords being cruelty in this deck hit the Lovers, I think they've been really fucked with in the past. Like, I think someone maybe like enjoyed playing hot and cold with them, or like, I don't know. It's like they took pleasure in creating cruel situations. I'm not saying your person took pleasure. Your person's old person took pleasure in causing your person anxiety. I think it made them feel powerful. Like, if I can have their thoughts be all consumed by me, that like gave them something. Wow, how narcissistic. So yeah, so they probably like dealt with a real piece of work back in the day. Let's get some more information, and maybe you too. And that's why this is, you're like, all right, someone put you in your hermit mode too. You know what I mean? Like, we don't just voluntarily step into those things. We're kind of thrown into a hermit mode, you know? So I also want to say, especially if this is an air sign on air sign connection, please make a point to soften your expressions to each other, especially if one in like the clouds just kind of like came over the sun. I don't know if you'll be able to tell in the video, but there's just something about being delicate with each other. More for this mutual connection. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool. Wow. That's also an Aquarian card. So I do feel like this person feels like you're their answered prayer after disappointment, because we do have the Five of Cups. But it does require like a new cycle between two people. And I can't help but feel like it's light and it's bright and it's airy and it's this beautiful experience for one, and it's like a hard shift for the other. And I think that's where maybe the disconnect is between the two of you. And if it was just explained that it's a hard shift because of me things and not because of you things, I think it would be fine. And you might even be able to help this shift happen. I want one more, please, for the mutual energy between Aquarius and the person on their mind, please. Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, and then there's Four of Cups, luxury on the bottom. I was not expecting two queens to come out. Maybe it's just another emphasis on same-sex connection, but it could also just speak to both parties needing to step more into their feminine and be softer with each other. Ace of Swords. Yeah, in communication specifically, just be a little softer with each other. Hermit. Because somebody wants to withdraw because of a certain way of communicating. I don't know if it's like someone gets overly emotionally gushy and then the other person is kind of like, oh, that's a lot, and then pulls back. Or if someone is just kind of blunt and the other person is like, whoa, are they mad? Because that was a really sharp way to say that, you know, something like that. So yeah, now my throat's getting weird. Hang on, I'm going to take a sip. Oh, yum. Drinking out of a tea. Drinking tea out of a cup my Aquarius friend made. Okay, let's go through Aries through Pisces and see if there are additional messages. Aquarius, if you are dealing with an Aries. If you're dealing with an Aries. The Fool, I do think they want this new beginning as well. The Eight of Swords, they're just having a hard time letting go of limiting thoughts. And again, I think communication would be key. Ten of Swords, to let them know, yeah, the Sun, that it's not an ending. It's actually a happy new beginning. It's just like taking some time. Taking some time to emotionally mature, maybe. Not you guys, but the connection. If you're dealing with a Taurus, Aquarius is dealing with a Taurus. We have the Strength card and the Chariot. This is about to have forward movement after a period of two people holding back to try to like maintain composure and control with the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. But the Chariot is a forward movement in its action, and it's two people working together to get one goal going forward. So yeah, if you're dealing with a Gemini. We have the Page of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like this person really, you light them up some way, like, or they might be younger than you and want to make an offer, but feel like they don't have like enough to come to you with, something like that. But for whatever reason, you definitely light their fire, and they want you to know that, but they might be I don't know, it's like they give and then they pull back. They might be a little manipulative. I don't know. I feel like if that connection with a Gemini frustrates you, then trust that it's manipulation. And if you're cool with how it's going so far, then, and being like, okay, I understand. Like, they just went through A, B, and C. Of course, like, they're not going to have, like, you know, they're not going to be able to take me to the fanciest restaurant in town, but they're still trying to take me out and spend time with me and get to know me, and they're being cute about it. So I'm going to say yes. Like, something like that. You know what I mean? Okay, if you're dealing with a Cancer. Aquarius is dealing with Cancer. We have the Seven of Cups, which is confusion and delusion, but then we have Judgment on the bottom, which is like an awakening and like a reckoning of sorts, the Moon. So the shit that's hidden is about to come out. Ugh, it might overwhelm you. So they might, if you're dealing with a Cancer, they just might be freaking out over how to tell you something. And once it comes out, like, I don't know, I think that's going to be your face a little bit. But then it just cut to death. So it's going to like make or break the connection. It's either going to transform it in the way it needs to be transformed, or it's going to completely end it. So that was Cancer. Let's go to Leo. Aquarius is dealing with Leo. We have the Page of Wands again. And the Devil. This, I think, is just based on looks. And yeah, Five of Swords. I wouldn't trust a Leo coming in right now for you, Aquarius. Yeah, the World we cut to. It's an end. They can't really teach you anything. It's just a lust-based connection with a Leo. Okay, Virgo. Aquarius is dealing with Virgo. It's like Virgo is no-go. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Let's try one more time. Does Virgo have anything they want to say, or are they just withholding? They're just maintaining their silence at this time. We have the Sun and the Ten of Pentacles. That's interesting because I felt like they didn't want to say anything. And then it was that. So I don't know. This kind of feels like a love bomb to me with the Devil on the bottom. Like they're going to hold back and be quiet for a really long time and then come in with, listen, you make me so happy. I see a future with you, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't buy it. There's immaturity and lustfulness behind it. Page of Wands, Nine of Wands. I wouldn't buy it. That was Virgo. Okay, Aquarius, if you're dealing with a Libra, you have the Two of Pentacles, and it landed on the Two of Wands, so that's interesting to me. If you're dealing with a Libra, the Queen of Cups, and then the Knight of Swords. I just feel like there's something deeply emotional they have to tell you. Maybe it's about like an ex relationship or something that like, for whatever reason, they're afraid to share. I don't know, because I feel like they're making this decision, right, on where to invest their emotions. But then when it's communicated, it's like a little bit aggressively. So I don't know if this is something that's hard for them to talk about, or if it's just hard for them to know how they feel emotionally because they just kind of like overanalyze things. So they're having to, maybe that's why there's like this need for so much inner reflection and shift, because they're realizing I can't just like go fast, observe and analyze this. I have to feel it. And they're trying to make the decision to do that. But I think they're just like still healing from some heavy shit. That's what I want to say. Aquarius, if you are dealing with a Scorpio, right, that was Libra. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. They're trying to decide if they want to invest or not. Again, there's a little bit of sketchiness. Five of Swords on the bottom. Scorpio. I don't know. That's a hard one for me. I'm feeling like it's just not a match, because I'm seeing like a standoff energy with a Scorpio. Maybe you guys can like come together for closure and balance, but I don't think this is something you really want to invest in. Get more information, wait a little longer. It's like one person sees the situation clearly, but the other person doesn't yet. So wait until you know that breakthrough moment has happened with the Hanged Man, and it's not like a deliberate pause. Because again, I feel like some of these people coming up are using silence as kind of like a manipulation tactic, so that when they come in, it releases so much dopamine to that person that they're inclined to yield whatever boundaries to have them back. And I don't know, I feel some type of way about that. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, also just general rule of thumb, I feel like Scorpio and Aquarius are just like, it's very hard for them to understand each other. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. Sagittarius sees a stable, long-lasting future with you. Excuse me, for sure. But again, coughing. They have difficulties speaking up. 4 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles. This person wants to invest for marriage. Yeah, that fucking hell yeah. Hierophant on the bottom. The Sagittarius, I trust. I trust their intentions. I like this. They want to take it all the way. They just respectfully and affectionately, they're damaged goods a little bit. But I think you can find something endearing in that, maybe also being a little bit of damaged goods, because you can't tell me you're not, to a certain extent, being a Saturn ruled sign. Like Capricorn and Aquarius, you know, if they are squeaky and sparkly, they have fought and dragged themselves out of hell and hosed off a ton of blood and mud and soot to get that way. So yeah. Wow, way to be so dramatic, Sarah. Okay, Aquarius to Aquarius. We have the 9 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. There's something they're anxious about communicating, right? And it landed on the 9 of Swords. Oh, we gotta flip that 10 back. Yeah, and that was gonna be the 10 of Cups. They're afraid of their own happiness. That's what it is. They're afraid of their own happiness, and they're trying not to sabotage this if it's Aquarius on Aquarius. And lastly, Aquarius dealing with a Pisces. We have the 5 of Cups. That's a card of loss, but it's kind of like a good riddance loss. 9 of Swords again. One more for Pisces, if Aquarius is dealing with a Pisces. You. 9 of Swords, 3 Cups. This could be needing to communicate that they stepped out on the relationship, that there was cheating, that, you know, maybe you guys at one point decided to take a break, but then, you know, like you didn't think y'all were going to, tussle with anybody else, and you're coming back, you know, fair, and they're coming back like, well, actually, I got something I'm going to tell you. It's something like that. But I do think it's interesting because 5 Cups, 3 are knocked over, 2 are still behind. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, one of these cups has poison in it. So I think it's like, I'm not trying to make excuses for this person. Either they were in a period of their life where they were just like overindulging in general and they made a mistake, or they just like were around people and friends that like really just got them to make bad decisions like repeatedly. I'm feeling like repeatedly. So I would want to make sure that this person's ready to turn around and leave whatever group this is behind to be able to come to you and focus on the 2 of Cups between the 2 of you. Because it's just like, you know, why are you surrounding yourself with bad apples? That's how I feel about it. All right, Aquarius, this has been your reading. If you got something out of it, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and feel free to drop a comment letting me know how this related to your experience. I would super love to get the Aquarius community going. If you are interested in a personal reading, my email address is in the description box below, and I hope to see you next time. All right, bye, Aquarius.